Hi everyone, how are you? It is Professor Jones checking in. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're having a great day. I want to go over a few things with the special occasion speech. It is a graduation speech. Tell you what's up with that and then go over the guidelines and the rubric. Now, here's the good news. There are no speeches this week. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's good. Right? You take a little bit of a break from speeches, but this week is an instructional week and it's also an interactive week. So there's a couple of things that are happening. One, I emailed everybody. I emailed both you and your partner and then the one group who has 3. And so now you know who you're working with the graduation speech. And also on the discussion board this week, we're all telling a story together. So I have made my initial post and now you can start responding. So be sure you read the guidelines for that and then just have some fun. Use your imagination. That's what this week is about. So let me start here with the special occasion speech. We are doing a graduation speech. You're going to get together with your partners and you're going to decide who are you to each other. Are you brothers? Are you sisters? Are you brother and sister? Are you besties? Are you cousins that are just like sisters? Are you college roommates? Who are you to each other? Okay? Then I want you to really dream big. I mean big. I want you to think about where you want to graduate from. Now, if you're in high school right now, and we have several high school students in both of my classes, I want you to either choose to graduate from your high school, or you can choose to graduate from Glendale, and any of you can choose to graduate from anywhere that you want. If time didn't matter, money didn't matter, if everything was all systems go, where would you go if you could go anywhere? Where would you live? What career path would you pursue? Your heart's desire. Okay, so we're looking for something super dreamlike. Like I want you to imagine that anything is possible, and I want you to talk about that. So I'll give you an example. I am the oldest of 7 kids. So when I think about my brothers and sisters, I have lots of common stories with them, correct? So I remember the time that my brothers Greg and Pete came home after curfew and knocked on my door and tried to get me to come down and pretend I was mom because the police were downstairs. Okay, we all got busted for that one. I can remember that when I was in high school that I would always take my brother Sam to the drive-in with me when I had a date. I know, nerd alert, but whatever. Okay, Sam was my sidekick. I took him everywhere. I think about my youngest brother Hank. He called me Ladybug. I called him Bunny. I mean, right? He's my baby. So if I was going to write speeches about all the millions of times that we had fights, that we got along, that I covered for them, that they covered for me, whatever, I have all these common stories about my family and my best friends, all of them. They all know where the bodies are buried, right? Your besties know everything. So I want you to think about this. You are going to take a real life person and you're going to equate them to your partner. So let's say you guys have decided to be sisters. All right, if you have a sister, make sure it's a sister you like, because we are all happy for the people that we're writing speeches for, all right? So don't pick the sister you're mad at. Pick the sister that you love. And I want you to imagine what you would say to her if she were graduating. And then I want you to take some of the stuff that you're learning from your speech sister, and I want you to mix them up. So if your sister's name is Sarah, but your speech sister is Carla, I want you to insert Carla. But I want you to think about that heartfelt stuff that you would write to your sister, okay? And then mix it in with the stuff that you're going to learn about your speech sister. Now, we're not there yet because we're just starting with the research. That's what working with your partners is all about, okay? You're going to get together. You're going to do some FaceTime so you get to know each other. We have all week to put these speeches together. We have all week to put them together so that you're ready to submit them next week. Okay, so when you're writing an essay paper or a research paper or a speech, it's always good to start with the research, because what are you going to write about, right? When we get to the informative speech, you got to go to the library. You have to do some academic research because that's the name of that assignment. So right now we are doing research. We're doing research on our speech partners, okay? And you're also doing some research for yourself. Like here you are, you're in college. And if you're in high school, you're taking college classes. You guys are working towards something. So what is it? You're going to share it, okay, and put words to it. Now, you can use humor, but I want you to remember that you are teasing someone out of love, not like you're shanking them in the parking lot, okay? And we all know the difference. We all know the difference. We've all teased and been teased by people that care about us. And we've also teased people and been teased by people that are actually trying to insult us. None of that, okay? You got to play it straight. Give over to your imagination and play it like you're really giving the speech to someone you care about. Because guess what? You are going to be giving tons of speeches to people you care about for their retirement, for their 65th wedding anniversary, for their marriage, for their babies. You're going to give speeches all day long, and you have to be able to stand up there and care about someone in front of other people, okay? So this speech is all about that. It is all about that, okay? So here are the guidelines. It's 2 to 3 minutes. That's it. 2 to 3 minutes. You can do that. You've already done it. So it's 2 to 3 minutes. A hook. Strong body, that's the story. Tell us some common stories that you two speech partners are coming up with. If your sisters, was one of you the good sister and the other one was the naughty sister? Did you both get each other in trouble? Did you cover for each other? What about that time you snuck out and went to the concert? Okay, I want you to think about some of that. All right, you're going to make all this up. And then you're going to conclude with phrases like in conclusion or in closing or before I send you off to college, I want to leave you with this one thought. All right, and you're going to use a quote. And you're going to cite the quote. Now, we've done this a lot. We're doing this a lot. Having a quote, a poem, a lyric, a quote from a movie, a phrase, a slogan, something. And that's because in informative speech, that's what you're going to be doing all through the speech. So I want you to practice it, and I want you to get used to what it sounds like to say according to in a research paper done by. All right? That's coming. Not yet. Not for a couple of weeks. But getting used to saying it like that out loud is important because when you write it, you have to cite it. But when you speech it, you have to say it, okay? Otherwise, it's verbal plagiarism if you're not citing your sources. So it's a really important academic piece of what's going to happen with informative and persuasive. But that's in the future. You don't need to worry about that. All right, but include it. Include it. All right, so same thing as always. Frame it properly. Make sure you have good speech energy. You're happy to be here. This is all fun. You're great. All right, now I want to talk about a couple things. One, at our graduation party, the party you're having with your partner, everybody is sober and everybody's happy to be there and everybody's got all of their faculties, all right? So if one of you wants to play grandma, you can, but grandma is fine, all right? Because if you have an aging parent or grandparent that's going through some of that, where they're getting a little muddled in their mind, it is not funny. It's horrible. So we don't want to make fun of everybody, anybody. We don't want to make fun of anybody. Everybody gets to leave with their dignity at our party. You see what I'm saying? Like drunk uncle. Okay, you might have one. He's not invited. He's in rehab this week, okay? So he's not going to be coming to the speech. All right? So everybody's sober. Everybody's happy to be there, okay? I've seen some crazy speeches, okay? So you're going to submit your written speech, same thing, to the special occasion speech assignment, and you're going to post your video to the peer review discussion, just like always. In this particular case, let's scroll back up. You need to have two audience members. Okay, so you're going to have 2 audience members for your speech. So I have to be able to see them, and you can use one note card. Okay, and that's pretty straightforward, I think. Now let's get to the other shoe dropping. Okay, here's the rubric. Lots of points. It's worth 50 points. It's a first substantial point assignment. Clearly defined intro of who you are to the graduate. That includes your name. I'm Casey. I'm the graduate's sister. A defined body and a conclusion with a quote. Now, you're the writers now. So once we get to the writing, which is later, say like Wednesday or Thursday is when we're really going to start writing. And you might have sketched some stuff out in a rough draft kind of way, but we may not completely be to the writing until Wednesday or Thursday. You got to meet with your partner first. But if you decide that the quote or the citation needs to go, the quote and citation needs to go somewhere else, put it somewhere else. All right, you don't have to ask me. It does not have to be in the conclusion, but you have to have it. All right, it meets the 2 to 3 minute time requirement. Like I said, nobody should be under 2 and nobody should go past 3. All right, so if you hit 3, I'm going to stop listening to your speech. You got to make the time. All right, you've got to make the time. And the thing about that is if you miss the time and you've hit 3, think about how that might affect your conclusion points. Or if you're really long, think of how it might have made it affect your body and conclusion points. You got to make that time between 2 and 3. So you make the time, you get all the time points. You miss the time, you lose 5. That's it. Okay, let it burn. You got to make that time. Super important. All right? You're going to submit a formally written speech to Canvas, and this is the only speech where you're going to get points for doing that. After this, you lose points for not doing it. All right, you have to do it. Send it, turn it in, and then you're going to put your recorded speeches in the peer review discussion, just like we did last week. Effective video quality. It's a message of celebration. You're happy to be here. You've got great eye contact, and appropriate use of figurative and descriptive language. You are telling a story. So if you're talking about that one time, she was so nice, she always helped me with my homework, like how? What is nice? Like, she was such a trooper. She was my ride or die. You know, I can remember that I had this huge paper due and my computer crashed and I was bawling and I was just about to quit. But no, what? She showed up and she helped me get that done. That's the kind of friend she is. Okay, you want to be very specific. And you want to paint us a story of what it was like with your friendship, or how you were siblings, or you were neighbors or cousins. Let us learn about you and your speech partner, okay? So that's it for now. Mainly, I want you to get with your partner. I want you to read all the material and go through everything, but make sure you meet with your partner and start to get that information so that tomorrow and Wednesday we can start talking about some rough drafts, and by Thursday and Friday we can put them all together, okay? Have fun with this assignment. It's fun, all right? Have a good time. Put those speeches together. Meet with your partner, and I'll see you online. All right, bye.